Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Freelance Friday podcast. You're welcome if you're new. I've got, I think, a short and sweet one today. I want to talk about how my YouTube video production has changed since AI has basically taken over the world. I think I had to really define my stance when it came to AI. And that's, I guess, my first tip. If you're looking for a tip, is define your stance and define your usage and what is going to make most sense for you. I can't, I guess, say never, but it would be absolutely shocking to me if I ever decided to create AI generated videos and post them on YouTube. Like for me, that defeats the purpose of being on YouTube, right? But there have been some non generative AI tools, more of like productivity tools that have really helped me just keep things organized, come up with ideas, and do some of like the technical admin sides of YouTube without losing my mind. Okay. So I want to talk about those processes today. But first, I want to thank our sponsor, which is a company called Brevo. They are an all in one marketing automation and CRM tool. If you are a YouTuber, if you are a content creator, and you don't have a marketing automation system set up, you've got to get on it. And Brevo is a great option. For example, if you're a content creator and you mention a free guide in your YouTube description, Brevo can automatically send that guide to your contacts, then follow up with related content and eventually introduce your paid offer, whether that's coaching, a course, digital products, and so on. Maybe you're a social media manager. You can tag people differently, like potential clients might be on your list, past clients might be on your list, and brand leads if you want to do any type of thought leadership content. And you can send them personalized emails based on those tags. That's really huge because it helps your outreach feel more tailored and less generic. They also have built-in analytics, so you can actually see what emails people open, what links they click, and what's driving conversions, which is super helpful when you're trying to grow intentionally. So if you want to try Brevo out, you can get 50% off the starter or standard plans for your first 3 months using my code Latasha50 at the link in the show notes or description box. Huge thanks to Brevo for sponsoring today's episode. Okay, so first I'll tell you about topic research. I think that typing into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever you choose to, use is fine as a starting point of like, hey, can you look at my YouTube channel, look at my, podcast, look at some competitors in my space and give me some topic ideas. Actually, YouTube has a platform built within the studio tab that does this as well. It looks at others in your space. You can type in a keyword and it'll kind of give you some generalized ideas. Now, I say generalized because truly they are so general. And I don't recommend anybody just say, oh, ChatGPT told me to make a video on 5 tips for freelancing. Like, what? Like, that's like not very helpful, right? Don't just like take that and run with it. What I do next is I go into Google Trends. I look at that keyword. Let's just say it's social media manager or user generated content or instructional design. I just pulled that up for a client recently. And I look at Google Trends and I say, okay, this topic is either trending up or it's trending down or it's staying the same. And that'll kind of help me flesh out that idea further and decide if I want to move forward with it. If I see it's trending super down, right, I'm not going to move forward with it. And the reverse is true. If I'm like, holy cow, like this thing is just on fire, well, then I'm probably going to make more videos about that topic. Okay, easy to understand. Now, from there, I go into TubeBuddy, and I've been using TubeBuddy for years. I will leave links, by the way, for everything, including our sponsor, Brevo, but also the tools that I'm mentioning here. But TubeBuddy is a tool that enables you to do keyword research and title research for YouTube. So let's just say I take social media manager. That's like the keyword that I see is trending up on Google Trends. Maybe I got some ideas from Claude or whatever. Then I start playing around with the title and typing it into TubeBuddy to see how that title is actually going to rank. And how it tells you this is it ranks by volume in that category or in that title. So how many people are posting videos about that topic? And then the other volume indicator is search volume. So how many searches is that keyword, that title, that phrase getting? in a given period of time. So you want to be in the green, right? You want to also, though, use your best judgment. I just got a question from somebody who watched me use this tool in one of my recent videos. And at the end of the day, you've got to use your best judgment. Sometimes I choose titles that rank poorly in TubeBuddy, but I just know it's clickable. It's maybe a little scandalous or provocative, right? The title. So I know people are going to click on it. Or it might be too new to have ranked, right? If a news story hits and there just isn't a lot of content about it, I'm still going to prioritize relevance. Okay, from there, this is really where like the newness comes in, the new process. I'm super busy, right? Like I'm in school, getting a master's degree right now. I'm running this YouTube channel. I'm about to start a second YouTube channel. I've got a business. I'm running all these things. I'm writing a book, right? So I'm like, how do I minimize my editing time? Because I just don't have the time. And I'm not at the place where I'm able to hire an editor either. So I kind of need to like find a middle ground. So I don't even know how I came up with this workflow, you guys, but I just one day was like, what if I just talk, like I dictate my kind of outline for my video into an AI tool like ChatGPT or Claude. And I just have them help me structure it a little bit better, like give me some headings, give me some, that's it really. I mean, I'm not asking it to write a script, never, like that is just not my vibe. And more specifically, what I ask it to do is I say, can you break this outline up into directions for a slideshow? Okay. So I ask it to give me slides to accompany this video script. I'll show you examples if you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify. By the way, you can, watch me doing this a little bit for more clarity. But what I do with that is I then go into this tool called Gamma. I discovered Gamma a while ago, and I have to say it's improved a lot. When I first used it, I was like, I don't really love it, but it's actually pretty good. What it does is it takes that, you give directions for a slideshow. You put in your prompt, I guess, or your words, and then it creates a slide deck for you. So you're not having to go into Canva, go into PowerPoint, whatever. It just like, poof, you've got a slideshow. So in practice, I used this recently for, I think it was kind of an update video I did. And I just kind of wanted to share like my business plan for the rest of the year. So I did exactly that. I talked into ChatGPT. I said, here's my business plan for the rest of the year. I'm going to focus on this. And in this episode, I'm going to tell them blah, 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 right? Can you format that for slides? And then I took that prompt, I put it into Gamma, and it gave me my slides. Now, with all of this stuff, I am double, triple human checking it, right? And making sure that it's not putting in like a random thing from its own mind, that it's not changing the words that I'm saying. I actually say that very specifically when I do talk to AI. I say like, do not change my words, like structure it, give me, columns, titles, headlines, that kind of thing, but do not add words. Do not like take things away, like just restructure my own language. So yeah, Gamma is really cool. And the reason that I do that, it's creating the slides, is it minimizes my editing, because now I have a slide. If there's a boring moment on the screen, for example, I can just put a slide up that maybe has a nice chart or a graph or describes like, 2 columns of do this, not that, or a quote or whatever that might be. And I can just pop those slides onto screen really easily and quickly, just literally drag them into my editor, Final Cut. And now I've got a visual. So I'm not having to create a graphic. I'm not having to create a slide. I'm not having to get a second camera angle necessarily. Like obviously all of those things are going to help if you have access to get second camera angles, if you have access to create bespoke slides, all of that stuff, amazing. But when you are just trying to just ship something, I think this is a really good option. Okay. And then for recording. Now, sometimes right now I'm just recording directly into my camera. And by the way, I've been being so lazy with my camera and just using the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 just because it's so easy. I can plug my microphone directly into the camera. So I don't need to, like, it's amazing, but we're not talking about that right now. Sometimes I record like this. Other times, if I am trying to be really specific with this, like as automated as possible workflow, I'll record into Riverside. What's great about Riverside is I can actually plug my Osmo Pocket 3 into my computer and use it as a webcam and record into Riverside that way. So that's pretty cool. The reason I like to sometimes record into Riverside, number one, it's great for interviews, right? So if you're doing any type of interviews or co-hosted podcasts, Riverside is great for that. But Riverside is also great for if you want to do a quick edit or if you want clips pulled out. So I have to say the magic episode feature, you record in there and then it gives you what they call a magic episode, which is a pre-edited version of your content, essentially. I have to say the magic episodes are pretty good. Again, this is something that's changed a lot. So if you tried Riverside a year ago, 2 years ago, you probably are going to feel differently than you feel now. I certainly am. When I first tried it, I was like, what is this garbage? Now I'm like, it's pretty dang good. I still don't know. I haven't really gotten a final answer for myself of whether the magic episodes save me time when compared to editing myself in Final Cut. But the reason for that, I think, is because I've been editing so long. I literally took my first video class when I was, I think, 14 or 13. So, I mean, literally over 20 years of my life, the majority of my life I've been editing. So I'm super fast at it. If you are not super fast at it, if editing is new to you, I think use Riverside or Descript is another great option. Don't try to learn a clunky, tool, especially if you don't know if you're going to do YouTube for a long time or if you're just doing simple videos like this. If you're getting into more cinematic, highly produced things, definitely, right? Learn a better tool. But I think for most people, Riverside is great. And the magic episode does allow you to adjust. So I mean, it's super cool, especially for interviews, because you've got two people and it will switch between the 2-person layout, the single person layout, and you can choose those different camera positions and everything too. So it just makes a more dynamic episode without you having to crop and cut and, do all of this additional work. Like I said, clips, they also have magic clips, and you can decide how long you want those clips to be. You can decide the format. Do you want them vertical or do you want them horizontal? Or do you want, they have a new category called magic segments. So segments would maybe be a 5-minute clip, whereas a clip would be like a minute or 2 minutes. And then a vertical clip might be, a minute or 30 seconds for TikTok, Instagram, all the things, right? So you really are getting your full marketing plan to support that YouTube video all in one dashboard, which is pretty amazing. Yeah, I sometimes the clips get it wrong. Again, don't just download all the clips and post them all. Or maybe you do. I don't know. But that's not what I do. I find the best ones. You can also, did I already say this? I can't remember, but you can type in a subject or a keyword that you're looking for your magic clips. So for instance, I did an episode with Dee about being a digital nomad, and we talked about, I don't know, selling a house. I could type in house or sell house or whatever keyword, and it will find that segment that we talked about, if I know that was a clip that I wanted to share. Okay, and then the last tool that I really use is called Castmagic. I've been using this one for a long time too. Castmagic allows you to do a couple things. Number one, you can upload the video and it will give you an SRT file, which is a subtitle file. I think subtitling your videos is a smart idea. I think it's good for SEO. And I also think it's just good for accessibility. That's the main point of it, right? And so that's how I get my subtitles. I used to edit them and make sure it said things perfectly. Nowadays, the number one, the AI has gotten a lot better. So it does tend to pick up on my correct words. But number two, I just don't got time for that. So luckily, it's never made me say anything weird or anything, I don't think. So yeah, I use Castmagic for pulling the caption file. And then I also use it for timestamps for YouTube. So timestamps, if you notice, I don't do it on all of my videos, but especially if there's a very long video or just I've got a lot going on in a video, I'll put timestamps in it so that you can skim through the video. Maybe I'm talking about YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and you only care about the Instagram part. Well, you can look at the timeline on the bottom of the video and just skip to Instagram. This is also good for SEO because it's more, keywords that are being put in your description box that are describing what the video is about. So I think it's smart to include them for both SEO reasons and for retention so that people aren't like, oh my gosh, Latasha keeps talking about TubeBuddy. I don't care. Let's get into the, whatever, Riverside stuff. So you can kind of skim through. So I just have a simple prompt that I say create timestamps for YouTube starting with 00. This is important. And I say just simple headlines, no description. And it goes through and it does a pretty good job. And I always watch my videos when they come out and I audit that. And sometimes occasionally it'll be like a little bit off or I'll want to start it a little earlier or later. And so I'll just adjust it. But it's good to have a starting point and something to go live with so that you guys can skip around without me having to have watched it all the way through. Oh, and I will say I tried this once with ChatGPT just to see is it faster? I don't know. Do I need Castmagic? I uploaded my subtitle file to ChatGPT and I said create timestamps and they were so wrong. It was disturbing. And so I tried it again with a different video and they were so wrong. It was just putting in random things from the video, like something that happened at 19 minutes in, it was putting it at a 3-minute timestamp. It was super weird. So I do not recommend ChatGPT for timestamps. Castmagic all the way. And then, with Castmagic, there's a lot of other things that you can do too. I really don't use any of the additional features. I like to write. I believe in especially for my emails, it's truly that comes from my head and my brain and my heart. It's like a little note to you guys every single week. So I find it disingenuous to use an AI tool to write it for me. But if you are not a strong writer or if you just need maybe you can ask it anything give me a hook for my email or give me recommendations for clips or give me recommendations for filming a face-to-camera TikTok that promotes this video. You can kind of do any of that stuff. And because it has your video in there, it can actually scan through, give you the correct timestamps and do all kinds of things for you. So, okay, that is my AI workflow, truly, for videos. I still, like I said, I still edit by hand besides Riverside. When I do interviews or when I do want to do just a quick edit, I will use Riverside. But for the most part, I still edit by hand in Final Cut Pro. I can't really think of anything else that I use. My thumbnails, I still use Canva for, and I do not use any AI besides whatever is I'm sure there's something in that tool that's AI editing, I guess, but I very intentionally do not use stock footage, AI pictures. Same for Gamma, by the way. You can designate whether you want to use stock photos, AI generated images, or charts and graphs, or your own uploaded images. And I always either do stock footage or my own uploaded footage. I do not use the AI generated stuff. So just keep that in mind. There are still ways to maintain your level of comfort with AI if you use any of these things. I don't want to see AI generated people. Whatever. I'm not going to go on that rant today. That's my AI workflow for videos. I really hope this was helpful and that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to leave a link down below for all of the tools that I mentioned. And thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.